Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Brian Capel with Athens Real Estate Company. Hey, what's Paul Skeens got to do with real estate? Absolutely nothing at all. Other than the fact that I'm a huge fan of baseball and this guy's tearing it up this year. I've been a Cincinnati Reds fan since I was a kid. Uh, been, waiting and waiting ever since 1990 when they swept the A's, but I don't see it coming anytime soon. Real quick, Paul Skeens' numbers through the first part of the season. He's pitching in the All-Star game later this evening. So 66 innings pitched, 48 hits, 13 walks, 89 strikeouts, 7 home runs. He has a 1.90 ERA, average fastball velocity 99.1 miles per hour. That's average. Best pitcher in Major League Baseball since his debut in 19. I'm sorry, since his debut May 2011. Good grief, May 11 of this year. Wow, got wrapped up in those stats, didn't I? Big time. Listen, if you've not seen this guy do his interviews yet, you really need to, because they are something else to watch. So, got that out of the way. I'm going to pull up another screen here real quick, only because I'm going to get into some numbers, and sometimes things can get a little bit confusing. So, I have pulled some stats from the Athens County Board of Realtors MLS, really for the entire Southeast Ohio region, Gallia County, Jackson County, coming into Vinton, probably a little bit of Hocking, definitely Athens and Meigs and some of Washington County, a little bit of Perry, a little bit of everything sprinkled in. But one of the things that is going to be talked about is median and average. So I just want to make sure everybody's clear on this, not to insult anybody's intelligence. I get confused on these things often, which is probably not surprising given the word salad that I just did. All right, the median. So the median is the exact middle point in a sorted list. The average, the sum of all values in a data list divided by the number of values. That is the difference. All right. Next, we're going to get into these numbers. We're going to do this quick. My goal is less than 10 minutes if we can do it. Okay. So right here we go. This is the real estate inventory supply and demand report. Like I said, it comes from the Athens County Board of Realtors MLS system. So what exactly do we do with this data? So I like to go in and pull it every so often. You have to have numbers in it. It is a numbers driven query when you pull this report. The numbers are constantly changing, and I'm going to show you something I just pulled up from what I call, it's actually provided by NAR, National Association of Realtors. It's RPR, and it's actually a quick snapshot of the Athens County real estate market just for June. So that'll give you an idea. These numbers constantly evolving, constantly changing. So you really have to have at least 6 months. I like going back a year, because when I do a listing or if somebody's asking me what type of market's going on, it's good to have the average of what we're looking at for the last 12 months. So anyway, inventory supply analysis, quarterly comparison. As you can see here on the screen, I'm not going to get into it. Broken down into 4 quarters, July 14th, 2023, all the way through July 13th, 2024. I am not going to read all this, but the last sentence: the higher the housing supply number is, the more competitive sellers will need to be in the marketplace to sell their property. So what's that mean? Higher the housing supply number is. Housing supply, last line. This is how many months it would take in the given quarter, if no other listings came on the market, to sell the listings that are currently there, if that makes sense. So the lower this number, means that the supply is low, obviously, right? The higher the number means that, there could possibly be coming into a trend where we're getting out of a seller's market, maybe going more into a neutral based market. I can tell you we're still in a seller's market. Some houses are staying on the market for quite a while. Some are selling pretty quick. I just had a land listing in Washington County that did not even meet the norm of land listings. Typically, those are marathons whenever I talk to sellers in compared to a sprint. But this one was like a super short sprint and was under contract in less than 24 hours. So there are anomalies for everything. It really depends on where property is located at, what type of property it is, that type of stuff. So anyway, looking just at this bottom line, first quarter, there was 3.51. Second quarter, 3.56, 3.55, and then 3.65. So you can see gradually, it's just such an incremental increase, but slowly it's came up in the last 12 months to show that there's a little bit more supply. Really, at the end of the day, it's not that much when you look at the percentage, and that could be anything. That could be people deciding to hold on to their homes or their whatever their property is, knowing that they have a 3, maybe 4%, interest rate going on, and they don't want to jump into the world of this 6.5. And, you can see at the bottom of the screen right now on the ticker that I do have the most current interest rates from today. Those were pulled from the Athens County Board of Realtors MLS data system. So I take those as to be accurate. And just a quick nuance about interest rates. If anybody that is interested in buying or selling property, you cannot go off of those 2, 3, 4% interest rates as being the norm. Somewhere I've got a list. I did a blog or something on it maybe about a year ago, but just real briefly talking about that list. I think the average interest rate is usually around 7%. This is going back to the 1970s whenever they started to keep these records. If you go back and do the timeline, you would be floored. It would be a throat punch if you saw some of the interest rates in the mid to late 70s going into the early 80s. Then they bounced out a little bit. Then we had the housing crash in 2000s, early 2000s, because of the 1:10 ratio, lending practices that were going on there. People became buried and their property wasn't worth what they thought it was. Then things sort of leveled out a little bit. We got into the housing boom during COVID and just after COVID, and the interest rates were really competitive. A lot of people are scared. I get it. But honestly, if you do the math and look back timeline wise and look back at history, we are sitting right now probably a little bit below average as it is. So, all right. So we talked about real quick inventory supply analysis, the housing supply, months to sell existing active listings. Talk about the next one, which is list price and days on market. Again, I'm just going to go to the last sentence. It is generally a sign that the market demand is increasing when days on market are decreasing or when list prices are increasing. Okay. So again, days on market is an indicator. I mentioned earlier that, that land listing I had over in Washington County, if a home fits a niche that quite a few people are looking for, days on market are going to be greatly reduced. So, let's take a look here just real quick at the average list price. Now, you notice the median price is a lot different than the average list price. Okay, so just remember the definition between the average and the median. That median is fitting the middle part of that. Okay, so talking about the average list price, just going through the quarters. You see it there. A year ago, the average list price was $236,949. Second quarter, it sort of fell off a little bit, but you know what? Those months typically, most commonly, are not a hot seller month. Nobody wants to buy a house or sell a house during, when school's in session or maybe during the holidays, unless they absolutely need to. That third quarter going into April, things start picking up a little bit. You can see that average list price went up to 254,354. Now look at the last quarter going up to July 13th. Quite an increase from a year ago, right? I did not do the math to do the percentage increase, but that is significant. We're up to 302,186. Even the median list price, right, jumping from that first quarter 175 to 224,000 at the end of fourth quarter. Let's look at the average days on market. Highest looks like, nope, not the highest, 281 first quarter. Highest was the second quarter, 296 average days on market. But again, right, going back to that is not our hot selling time of year. Quarter three, it's dropping. As you can see, the last quarter, we're down to 152 days average day on market. But look at the median days on market, 183 compared to 62 days on market from a year ago. So I think definitely from last year at this time, I know my book of business has increased a little bit. So I think that for whatever reason, there are a little more people buying homes than there were last year at this time. Quite possibly that sticker shock of the interest rates maybe has moved on. All right. So this is the last part of this report. All right. So again, I'm just going to go and just a quick synopsis here on the bottom. So this report shows list price, sale price, days on market for sold listings that sold during each time period. All right. Last sentence, it is generally a sign that the market demand is increasing when days on market are decreasing, like I said just above, or are increasing. So let's look at the prices here and see what's going on for as far as the listing versus the closed price. Okay. So first quarter, average days on market, 54. Average list price, 196,112. Here's the average sales price. It was 188,193. So a year ago, people were getting just about 95.96, almost 90, technically speaking, 96% of their asking price, which is not too terribly bad. Not like it was when we were having the bidding wars, 2020, 2021, 22. Everything was a bidding war. Everything was going above asking price. So we're certainly not into that, as you can see. Second quarter, again, that's that lull time. Listing price average 195, average sales price 1864. But the numbers are pretty close on what the average list to sale price was, still 95.2%. So third quarter, you notice the price increases are going up. Average price 201, average sales price 189. But we took a little bit of a hit on what they were making as far as a net coming into the pocket on the average list to sales percentage. Lastly, the last quarter, 56 days on market. Average list price, as you can see, was 218,375. Average sales price 212,637. But you notice what happened right there. Again, the last quarter, the numbers came up just almost a little over 2%. So, again, what's that indicative of? That the market is not doing too bad, that the supply is still low, and that we still have people that are out here buying. So yeah, you're not getting that 105% to the 100% sale price, or average list price to the sale price, because we're just not in that deep of a seller's market, but we're still there, right? So one thing real quick here that I want to show you, I mentioned the RPR report, so I'll throw that up really quick right now. Sorry, I need to look over to get it up there. Okay, so this is from Realty Property Resources. And so you can see it's the market trends for Athens County, Ohio. This is for June of 2024. So in a nutshell, how all of this works, there are several MLS systems throughout the state. And every one of them feeds data to Ohio Realtors, which is a trade organization in Columbus. They also feed data to the National Association of Realtors, located at Chicago, Illinois. This specifically, RPR, comes from the National Association of Realtors, and it's a service that's provided to us. I use it often. I can do custom CMA reports for sellers, that type of stuff on it. But if I just want to get a snapshot of a report, I can get deep into the weeds and go in a really minute level looking at Athens City. If I wanted to do that by zip code 45701, in this case, I can do Athens County, Ohio. So yeah, if you are living in a certain area and you have any questions, wondering what your property value is, if you're thinking about selling, you can give me a call. This is one of the tools that I use to help sellers come up and develop some pricing points for them. So just to get into this really quick, right? This makes it super easy, as you can see right here. The market type, this is the cheater right here for me. Yeah, so 2021, 2022, this needle would have been as far over as right here, probably trying to break the spectrum on this end. Slowly in the last year and a half, it is migrated towards this balanced neutral market, but we're still a long ways off, as you can see. And according to this one, for Athens County, right? The other one was for most of the counties, if not all of the counties in the region that we serve. This one is for Athens County, Ohio. So if you look at months of inventory, we talked about that. So it's 2.42%. Now that number in the last month came up 5.22%. Okay. Here's something though that looks good. The list to sold percentage is 99.5. So folks are getting almost their entire asking price out of their properties. So look at the median days though in RPR, right? And really what this means, it's still median days on the market, but it's only 6. And that number went up 100% month to month. Now, the median sold price, now we're not talking the average, we're talking the middle part, the middle number, the middle median sell price or sold price for June of 2024 in Athens County was 218.5. So for some reason, we've taken a little bit of a decrease on that 7.81%. But you can't take that number and try to figure it out unless you get into the weeds for Athens County, Ohio. Now I could run a specific report for Athens County, and it would give me probably some ideas of what's going on within, that area. So, but just seeing that number go down doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Quite possibly, if there was an increase in the months before that, that increase may still negate the percentage that this number dropped. So, you know what? That's all I've got to show today, and I actually have ran over, so I was only planning for about 15 minutes. If you have any questions about real estate, I cover the entire Southeast Ohio region. I don't mind driving. I've taken listings in Washington County, Guernsey County, Gallia, Jackson. I've sold homes all over Southeast Ohio as well. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, have any questions, give me a call. I'm an accredited buyer's representative. So if you're a first-time home buyer, I can sit down with you. We can schedule a time. I can get into the weeds, talk about the process, talk about the importance of getting pre-approval if you don't have any lenders, anything like that yet. I've got plenty of folks that I could, give you the contact information for. For the seller side, I have some benefits there as well. I am PSA certified, so pricing strategy analysis certification through the National Association of Realtors. What's that mean for you sellers? It means that I can sit down and I can comb through past sold listings and find the like and comparable properties similar to whatever you're wanting information about that you're thinking about selling. And I can help you come up with some pretty good price points. So, with that, 740-629-2513 is my phone number. Again, this is Brian Capel, and I'm happy to work with the Athens Real Estate Company located at 540 West Union Street in Athens, and Ali Rapley is the broker. Feel free to reach out to me or stop in. There will be somebody there that can help you with any of your questions. Before I part ways, one thing that I want to make a comment about is I had not done this in quite a while, and I think I put on the event thing that why not just cannonball into it, because for some reason it seems to be my personality and how I do things. So, but as you can see, I've got a little bit of a different streaming thing going on here. So I'm going to come up with some strategies for this. I don't know if I'm going to do a weekly thing. I don't know yet. I know I'm going to go do some remote things. I have a couple of ideas. I want to go to some local small business owners that I know and do some quick interviews with them and stuff. So, I'm going to be throwing some stuff out there that's not entirely real estate. Maybe, like I said, some small business owners that, you get to know and would love to have your business and stuff like that. So, all right. I hope everybody's Tuesday has been great so far, and please keep it a safe one. Thank you so much. And until next time, bye.